Wow, first time in Tennessee. Got this cold water. Hey, it's Dougie Fresh in the flesh. To the last breath, I'm giving my best. I'm here, taking that breath in what looks like a bunch of lungs right here, these trees. And I'm about to blast all the inspiration from a 10-day silent meditation retreat I recently just did in Claymont, Delaware. But right now, I'm in the Great Smoky Mountains in Tennessee, right on the borderline of North Carolina. And I'm hiking it with some friends. I want to share what this meditation retreat opened up for me and the lessons I got from it. So I'm gonna keep walking, keep hiking this trip, and I will share with you guys the major key takeaways, the 5 things that I got, the insights I got. And first is this, for someone like me, if you know me, you know I have a lot of energy and I love to talk. I love to talk, and I love people. I have a passion for people and helping other people. So this was a stretch for me. This was scary for me to do this 10-day silent meditation retreat. And like Elliot Hull says, Ralph Waldo Emerson always says, do the thing you're afraid to do and the death of fear is certain. So I was challenged in South Beach, Miami, where I felt totally chaotic, totally, pulled in different directions, very social environment. And at a yoga meditation class, they invited us to do something we were afraid to do. So that was it, the 11-day silent meditation retreat. And within the word silence is the word listen. So I got to listen, go inward. And what that meant was deepening the depth into clarity, groundedness, centeredness. And there was a bunch of that, what you hear right now, white noise, this refrigerator hum of presence that just elevated throughout my experience there. And you're gonna be loving these lessons I got from it. But first I'm gonna crack into what this was and the purpose of it was. Beyond that, stay fresh, stay blessed, enjoy this video. So the meditation retreat was in Claymont, Delaware. It's a half hour from my home. I heard about other mentors doing it, making videos like this, and that's why I'm creating this. So maybe it can inspire someone, or inspire someone to get out of their comfort zone. So they fed us, it was all free. It's based on the donations of other people. And it was a gift, like nature is, it was a gift. It was something that people donate hundreds of thousands of dollars to do. We eat for free, we have a place to stay for free, and I took full advantage of it. And that's available to everyone. So the technique, to teach a meditation technique. So meditation is a habit of elite successful people. I'm talking about Oprah, Russell Simmons, LeBron James, I mean the list goes on, business owners, and it's a practical tool that anyone can use. And there's hundreds of styles. They focus this. Breathing, but breathing without trying to change the breath. So one of the lessons was I'm always constantly trying to cause and create, which is great, but what would it look like if I let things be? Like the Beatles, let it be. So for me, that was the first takeaway and lesson. Not always trying to influence something, but just allowing, accepting, and then flowing with it, just like this water here. The big second thing was I was walking around with my shoes off, barefoot, hugging trees, and then all of a sudden the tree disappeared. The tree didn't disappear, but the teacher said, hey, I was climbing trees, and then I had to stop focusing on things outside of myself, squirrels, right? ADD, I got ADHD, attention directed to higher dimensions. Well, my intention going into that was to lower that, to be more present, grounded, like I said. So I stopped focusing out. I was less distracting, and I became less distracted. So I saw that's how I was showing up in my life. I took responsibility for that. So that was a great insight, all awareness, self-awareness I got from it. So that was, if you were to do it, you would get what you get. But this is a big commitment for most people. For me, it was like, now was the time. It was the perfect timing. I went for it. And because I did that, other lessons came flowing down like a waterfall, which was this. That listening and that silence, that once I got to stop becoming distracted, I became super hyper focused. Like if you listen to the water right now, focus on that. If you look at my eyes, focus on that. So I became focused on my breath, and then the technique was like a form of body scanning, and the body scanning allowed me to get kinesthetic and tactile with my body, which allowed me to be so focused that I never experienced myself more attentive, alert, effective, and that was the benefit. And I saw how powerful I am when I focused. And you think about anything that you created and how focused you were to create that result. So for me, writing a book, finishing college, wrestling, I channeled that focus in sitting in a meditation position for hours. So we would meditate anywhere, minimum 5 hours a day. We would do it as a group for 3 hours, but I did 7 hours when we could do 10 hours a day. So 7 hours I would meditate a day was my personal goal. And I just kept going deeper and deeper, peeling back the onion. And I'd walk out feeling a Satori experience, like very present, hyper present. And not looking for anything spiritual is what they recommended, but finding the next point, which I'm going to get into next. And that's the biggest lesson of all, is when I get to the next location, I'll share it with you. And it's all about balance. All about this. All right, let me do that again, because it was this equanimity, they called it. So I'm going to break down what equanimity is. And it was a flip in perspective, because I was all about experience the highs of life, experience the lows, and this was not saying that. This was feeling equanimity. I'm going to break it down. It's basically experiencing that everything's changing. So why get too high or too low? Everything's changing. Why get too high or too low? So I'm going to stand on my head again and do it with real balance. He's going to get a view of this, and we'll crack into the next part. Stream right there. Move arms, you save energy. Wow. 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 Look at that. It's like straight. There. Time. So, the purpose of me doing the headstand isn't to show you some yoga posture. It's to show you why in the world would someone ever go 10, 11 days without their phone in this era? And then how come someone would go without talking? Well, that's what I was showing you. It's a flip in perspective. Just like, wow, what a view of that mountain over there. So, wow, what a view of the mountain over here. There's value in a change in a perspective. So I neglect it when we go through daily life, autopilot. So I wanted to interrupt that, and I always do things like traveling places like this to hang around different kinds of people. But this experience was extraordinary because the equanimity that was developed, equanimity, and it comes from Buddha, and they taught a lot about Buddha. S.N. Goenka was the teacher. They'd play his tapes every night. And he talked about how Buddha would just simply scan, examine his sensations within the body. So if you feel, watching this, you can feel the energy in your right hand. Notice that energy. It's there. And we shift it, and we notice the changing. Mitosis biology, so like cells are splitting within ourselves. Air, lungs, right? Like how I started the video. Lungs are expanding. There's branches in our respiratory system. Our heart is beating. Blood is flowing constantly. Like one river, this river that we passed, that's going to be a completely different body of water. So that's what's happening within ourselves. So Buddha would teach that, hey, if you understand it, not just know it intellectually, but that's the point of the meditation retreat in camp, is that it's an experience. It's an experiential training. That leads to a sense, a deep sense, not a, like, kinda, sorta, no, like a knowingness that everything's changing. Why get too high, too low? Trusting that static equilibrium, okay? Leveling down, it feels like, it's really challenging at first. The 3 days I wanted to quit. I almost like got kicked out because I was so distracting. It was just how I was being. It was just, I want to have fun. But it was really avoiding. So all these lessons were coming up. So equanimity, creating a heightened ability to become balanced in my life was the biggest takeaway by far. The other thing was it's a process. So the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. You don't have to see the whole staircase to take the first step. Martin Luther King says that. Lao Tzu says the one before that. And it's all these ideas of trusting the unfolding of life, which is faith. And I had to keep faith when I was in that posture. And it was 30 minutes. I'm like, oh my gosh, this feels like an hour went by. When's it going to come? When's the guy going to start, wrapping up the meditation? And 2-hour meditations were the toughest. In fact, climbing this mountain, we got to the peak, and the peak's over there, and we're gonna climb in a bit, but the peak of the meditation was like, wow, I did it. And that's how I feel, a sense of accomplishment. A sense of, once you get in that zone, that auto zone, that zzz, like presence, there's this awestruck wonderment, just like looking at a mountain. So much value, so much value. The other incredible thing that I'll leave you guys with is the challenge for you guys is to do something you're afraid to do. Stretch outside your comfort zone and notice your attachments, cravings, and aversions, because that's what I did. That's what you would constantly look at our cravings, look at our desires. So I get language and how language is valuable. So you have to avoid saying words like should, shouldn't, have to, instead of you can say get to, blessed to, choose to. There's no such thing as right or wrong. Right is like, I want to be right? And you don't ask right, but does this work and does this not work? Or more effective words. But I never heard of liking and disliking. And that was valuable because I have so many likings. I really, really want to do this. I have this desire to do this. And that desire, that craving of being on Instagram, of eating when I want to eat, of waking up, of getting sleep, of certain biological necessities, going without it for a bit sharpened the mind. So right after the retreat, I did my first 48-hour fast. Value in that. So noticing those likings and also noticing the dislikings. Like, I want to scratch my face. I want to scratch it, but let me see if I can do the Anapana style where I'm not moving for an hour and see what opens up for me in that experience. Take the coaching. So noticing likings and cravings and aversions and how I would divert and distract myself, so much value. And I've already noticed after integrating, like they recommended 2 hours a day, so much possibility in my life is opened up, so much alignment of thoughts, words, actions, values, and people I'm around. So it was an incredible, extraordinary, doesn't do it justice. I waited a week to shoot this because I wanted to see how kind of results I created in my life, and they've been astounding. So I think it's raining, drizzling slightly, beautiful experience. Grateful to be here with my friends and explore Great Smoky Mountains. I hope you got value from this video, and stretch outside your personality. So my personality was, enthusiasm, passion. I'm a people person. I love that. I love energy, but you know what? I want to expand my range. What would it look like if I grounded myself at this level? And of course, I'm never gonna lose that passion, ever. But where is it coming from an overcompensating place? Where is it coming from a need to look good, be cool? And knowing that self-awareness, I can then find challenges for myself to go on the edge. Find my edge. It doesn't have to be an 11-day, 10-day meditation retreat, but find your edge. And when you do that, you'll find more aliveness. Find that razor sharp edge. And you'll be more razor sharp. You'll be more alert, attentive, effective in what you create. Guys, if you have any questions about this retreat, let me know. Dhamma.org is where you can find information about it, wherever you are in the country and the world. And adventure, life's an adventure. Take the I out of life. Put a 1. We have one life. Live it up. Stay fresh. Stay blessed. Just to recap this video, lots of lessons. Take a pen, maybe watch it again, jot it down. There's so much you can use from this that is applicable to life. These are metaphors of a mountain. These are metaphors of meditations. Make magic with it. Put magic in the mundane. Make ordinary life extraordinary. Stay fresh, stay blessed. Peace. Oh! And let your echo of self-talk not just be positive, but be authentic and aligned with your highest, best, strongest self.